So I wanted to share what I've noticed about numbers, like the significance of certain numbers, or every number from 1 to 10, or 1 to 9, I guess. Even the number 10, I guess, too, though. And I'm sure I haven't noticed everything about these numbers that other people have, but I haven't read that much about it, but just things that I've observed by thinking about the significance of the symbols of numbers. Like the symbols we use to represent numbers. Because numbers are numbers are kind of both an abstract concept and also, I'm no mathematician, but they're also like objective, not objective, but objects themselves. So, or that's how they are in quantity. So anyway, the number 1, I'll just start off with that, I guess. In the English language, the number 1 is synonymous with the same word, not the same word, but the word one, WON. So if your say your spiritual number is the number 1, you might always feel like you've won. And that makes sense because if you're a selfish person, you do typically think that you're winning, even sometimes when you're not. So there's just one example, and there's many different ways to look at the number 1 probably. But that's one thing that I've noticed. All right, the number 2, there's like a few different words that parallel with the number 2 in English, which I think kind of represent the number 2. So one of those words is to, which is like going somewhere, so you have to take a path. And to take a path in life, you have to sort of put yourself second to God or to the environment, to many things. So the number 2 is like the word to, in that way, you have to put yourself second to brave the environment, or you have to put your faith in God to have no fear, to be able to travel, to go to somewhere, or to do something, like to do or to go. You have to put yourself second. So that's just one example. And then you have the word TOO, to, also. So if you think about that, if you two are going with somebody else to do something, you're the second one going. Typically, or you can be more than that, but typically you have to not put yourself second, but typically you'll be the second one going, or that's the basic idea. It's not like a perfect parallel, but yeah. And then of course, I think that's it. My bad. And then you have 3, which is a little bit more abstract, I think. But when you think about it, a 3 is like when you be I think 3 represents family, and also like food and like housing, and not housing, but shelter. Maybe not necessarily shelter, but like home. Home's probably the best word for it. Anyway, I think that's what the number three represents typically. Because when you think about it, to start a family, you need three people. So I think I've heard that said before, but I don't know. I can't remember. And anyway, I figured that out on my own. And to me, it was something like significant. Like I wasn't sure how I was figuring out like what these numbers really mean, at least in language, which I guess is what I'm describing, like what numbers mean in language, their symbolic significance. But anyway, 3 is like family and home and like food. I say food because food's very important, like nourishment, I guess. And then you have the number 4, which I haven't really figured out everything for the number 4. Not that I figured out everything for the other numbers I just mentioned, but for the number 4, like the way it looks or whatever, like I don't know, like I just haven't really figured out the number 4, like I think it has something to do with like objective purpose, I guess you could say. Like having something for something, you know, like if you have a fork, you're going to use it for eating, you know? Or if you have a spoon, you're going to use it for ladling. Maybe if you have a ladle, if you know what a ladle is. Anyway, so the number 4 is kind of like that, like, I don't know, I haven't really figured that one out too much, but I think it just, and it's also the number that's like, if you put it on like a rating scale, it's the number they use for like below average. So I've been trying to figure that out. Like if you're below average in something, you might eventually figure out that something is for something else. You know what I mean? Like this is for this, and that's like a problem that you solved. So something like that. But like, yeah, just anyway. Then 5 is kind of like you're in the center, you know. 5 is like very centric, like the number 10 sort of. Because, you know, a circle is a perfect 10. Or it's not a 0, you know. Like a circle, like it has to be 10 out of 10 parts to be a full circle. You know, or 8 out of 8 parts, you know, 100%. And 5 is like half of that, so it's like imperfect, but still very like centric, sort of, like you're halfway there. And I don't know what it means in language exactly, but I might finish this video later. Anyway, just food for thought.